For the given quadratic function, find the vertex and sketch a graph. What? I don't know why you guys are so surprised. I know.
So which one did you look at to see whether or not it opens up or not?
All right, so first off, the leading coefficient is what? What number is right here? 1. And is 1 positive or negative? Positive, so that means it's going to open up. So we already know this opens up. Now, based on the vertex alone, we do not have enough information to plot a great graph here, but in our next example, we're going to find intercepts as well, so we'll get a much better picture there. So let's find the vertex. Notice this is an ABC format, because you have ax squared plus bx plus c. So to find the x coordinate of the vertex, remember that's given by negative b over 2a. What is our b here? 3, so we'll have negative 3 over 2 times, what's our a? 1. So negative 3 over 2 times 1 is negative 3 has, or if you want to use negative 1.5, that's fine as well, because it's a terminating decimal. So how do we find the y coordinate of the vertex? There you go. Plug the x coordinate into the function. So we'll need negative quantity 3 halves squared plus 3 times negative 3 halves minus 4. Mike, fractions, why do you hate us? I don't hate you. That you know of. Maybe.
Now for these, should we convert them into decimals?
Since negative 3 halves is a nice decimal, I'd be okay with that. If it were a...
Like the finished product gets a little...
Finished product gets a little icky, so yeah, if you want to use a decimal here, that's going to be fine too, because it should still be terminating. Oh, that's not too bad. Negative 6.25?
I got negative 25 over 4.
Which is negative 6.25?
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah. So remember, if you do not use parentheses, that's bad. Parentheses are the seatbelts of mathematics. They keep you safe. So our vertex is negative 1.5, negative 6.25. And due to my awesomeness, guess who did not make the graph big enough? This guy. So we're going to have to make this y-axis go a little bit bigger here. All right, I don't think does it let me draw down here? Oh, it does. Okay, so that would be 6. All right, sorry guys. So negative 1.5, negative 6.25, something about right here. Let me get rid of this guy. Due to symmetry, we know that the center of the graph is at negative 1.5. And then negative 6.25. Because that's the vertex is the center of the graph. So if we picked x values that are the same distance away from the vertex from either side, what will happen is we'll get a nice U-shaped curve. So typically what you do is you go up 1, down 1. So for instance, if I went up 1, you would say negative 0.5. And then if I went up 1 more, you would say 0.5. And then if I went down 1, you would say negative 2.5 and negative 3.5. The reason this is so nice is because by symmetry, since we centered it at the vertex, these two x values, negative 0.5 and negative 3.5, are going to have the same y value. And so will what other pair?
0.5, negative 2.
Yeah, negative 0.5 and negative 2.5. Is that okay with everyone? So if you would, why don't you just put in 0.5 and negative 0.5 into the function, and then we would just copy that answer for the other corresponding x value. Did I show you guys how to make a table in your calculator? All right, I'll show you. All right, so what we're going to do is go to y equals in the top left there, and we're going to type in our function, x squared plus 3x minus 4. Now, there's actually two ways you can make this table. You can make the table in such a way where you manually put in the x values, which is good if your x values keep bouncing around. So if I wanted like 2, 7, 17, you'd want to do a manual approach. If they're incremental, meaning they're evenly spaced, which we have here because we keep adding 1 to get the next number, then it's better to make an automatically generated table, which is what I'm going to show you. So you want to go to second, table set. Table set is above window. First off, table start says, where are you starting your table? Well, our smallest value here is technically negative 3.5. So we're going to start our table at negative 3.5. Make sure you use the negative sign that's next to the decimal point. And what does triangle table mean? Yeah, delta, the triangle is really delta. So delta table means how much you're changing. So since we're adding 1 to get the next number, make sure your delta table says 1. Independent means, is it going to automatically generate the x values, or is it going to ask you? Since we wanted to automatically generate the x values, highlight the word auto and hit enter. If you wanted to do it manually, where you're going to type in the x values, then you would say ask. Regardless of all that, always keep your dependent on auto. So now if we go to second table, table is above graph. Notice that it gives you your entire table for you. Remember, we have a reverse order than what we have on the board there, but due to symmetry, same goodness. So negative 2.25, negative 5.25 were the missing y values. Questions? All right. So those are both negative 2.25s. And what was this, negative 5.25? There you go. So if we center our table among the vertex, then by design, if we increment out from there, we'll get a nice symmetry in the y values. So now we have more than enough points to graph our parabola. So if you would, sketch that down. So negative 1.7. Mike, you didn't give us enough paper. I know, student. Yeah. They're not even on the grid lines. I know, life is terrible. So then if you would, just connect your dots from there. Then you can say it if you want to.